most welcome to another exciting review of The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I hope you're doing well today. All right, so today we're reviewing chapter 19. Guess what? We are almost at the end of this book. After chapter 19, we have two more chapters to review, and we are done with this book. We move on to the next. Chapter 19 says, All together now, what we've learned about the psychology of your own money. All right, so congratulations, you are still reading. That's a very good one. Give yourself a pat on the back, because many people do not actually come this far. So for you to have come this far, good job. It is time to tie together a few things that we have learned so far. So this chapter 19 is a bit of a summary, a few short and actionable lessons that can help you make better financial decisions. But before we go into this, 14 wise financial decisions that we're going to be talking about in today's review, the author has a short story to tell us that will help us to understand these 14 wise money decisions better. So in 1931, there was a man called Clarence Hughes. He went to the dentist because he was having this terrible pain in his mouth. And then the dentist put him under crude anesthesia so that the pain would reduce. But when Mr. Clarence woke up, 16 teeth were gone and his tonsils had been removed. Everything went wrong. The surgery went wrong. And 1 week after, Mr. Clarence died. And the wife sued the dentist, not necessarily because the surgery went wrong, but because the dentist did not seek Mr. Clarence's consent before performing that surgery on him. The case went through the courts and nothing came out of the case because, in 1931, consent between doctors and patients were not black and white. Doctors were allowed to carry out surgical operations that they thought was fit for the patient. They were allowed to treat patients based on what they thought was right. So consent was not really a thing then. Doctors were free to make the best medical decisions, right? Otherwise, it was believed that if they were not free to do that, we would not really enjoy the advancement of medicine. Doctors felt that in order to accomplish that objective, they were obligated to attend to their patients' physical and emotional needs and to do so on their own authority without consulting the patient about the decisions that needed to be made. And this wasn't ego, it wasn't ego, it wasn't malice. It was based on two beliefs. Number one, that every patient wants to be cured, right? If you go to the hospital, you are requiring treatment, you really, really want to get well. Number two, there is a universal and right way to cure them, and doctors could decide that on their own. But in the last 50 years or 50 years thereabouts or 60 something years now, medical schools have now moved away from treating disease to treating patients. That means even though the patient wants to be well, the patient must agree to how he or she wants to get well. There will be some options laid before them to say, okay, do you want to do surgery, or you prefer to be taking this medicine? Probably the symptoms can reduce, you can get better. So we are now provided with options, right? And medicine is a complex profession, and the interactions between physicians and patients are also complex. Do you know another profession that is the same, that is also complex? That is financial advice. I can't tell you what to do with your money because I don't know you. I don't know your plans. I don't know your budget. I don't know what you're dealing with. I don't know the kind of returns that you want to get, your preferences, and all of that. Right. I don't know what you want. I don't know when you want it. I don't know why you want it. So I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I don't want to treat you like a dentist, like Clarence Hughes, to assume that, okay, this is how you should spend your money. This is how you should become wealthy. This is how you should become rich, right? Even though doctors and dentists are not useless. They have knowledge. They know what they are doing. But then these days, they really have to seek our consent, right? Before going ahead with anything. Financial advisors are the same. Even though there are universal truths in money, even if people come to different conclusions about how they want to apply those truths in their own finances, the truth is that there are still some general principles about money that can guide us in the way that we make wise financial decisions. So let's look at 14 of them that the author has written here very quickly. Number one, go out of your way to find humility when things are going right, and forgiveness or compassion when things are going wrong. The world is a big and complex place, and luck and risk are both real and hard to identify. So when the going is good for you, when money is coming in, be humble. You need that humility to sustain your wealth. And when you make bad money decisions as well, forgive yourself, because you can't know it all. And sometimes you really do not have control over risks, okay? Number two, less ego, more wealth. Saving money is the gap between your ego and your income. And wealth is what you don't see. So wealth is created by suppressing what you could buy today in order to have more stuff or more options in the future. No matter how much you earn, you will never build wealth unless you can put a lid on how much fun you can have today with your money, right? So reduce your ego. Don't spend your money lavishly just because you want people to know that, yes, you have arrived. You want them to be giving you kudos every now and then. You will always have to spend your money on things that you shouldn't spend your money on. Number three, manage your money in a way that helps you sleep at night. How does it work? In what way does your investments, or do your investments make you sleep well at night? What works for you may not work for me, right? If for you, taking minimal risk or investing in very low risk portfolios will make you sleep well at night, go for it. There are some people that they will sleep well at night when they know that the returns they will get is very high, even though the risk may be high. But the fact that they know they're expecting high returns will make them sleep well at night. They will be happy. So manage your money in a way that helps you sleep well at night. You don't want to lose your peace of mind or your sleep just because you're investing or because you're saving money. I'm not sure I can keep tab of these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4, if you want to do, let me be writing it down. If you want to do better as an investor, the single most powerful thing you can do is increase your time horizon. We're on chapter 19. Increase your time horizon. Time is the most important force in investing. It makes little things grow so big. So give it time. You have invested today. Allow your investment, your money to compound. Give it time. Come back some years later, and then you see that your money has grown so big. When you plant something today, you don't go and be checking it every now and then. You have put maybe a seed of corn in the ground, for example, and you carried your chair, you sit down with it. You are even digging out the sand to see how the corn is it growing. The corn will die in the process, right? So you need patience. Give it time. It doesn't mean your investment, even in your business. You're starting your business today and you expect people to know you already. No, give it time. Number 5, become okay with a lot of things going wrong. You can be wrong half the time and still make a fortune. It is fine to have a large chunk of poor investments and a few outstanding ones, right? Because in life, you want to try out different things. So don't be afraid. If you are a perfectionist and you want everything to go well all the time, you will never make big moves. You will never get anything done. So when we read Failing Forward, we were told that failure is not a bad thing. If you invest your money in something and it doesn't go well, it's okay. There are some that you're going to get right. Just take those calculated risks and you'll be fine. Number 6, use money to gain control over your time. We have read and reviewed previously in this book that if you have money, if you are prudent with money, it can help you to gain a lot of control over your time. You're not going to take up that job that you shouldn't take just because you don't have money. You don't know how you're going to pay your bill or something, right? or you're not going to be treated badly at work and then you can't do anything. You feel helpless because you know that if you revolt and they sack you, you have nothing to fall back on. But if you have been saving, if you have been prudent with your money, you've been investing in assets and everything, nobody's going to treat you anyhow. You're not going to take any job, out of desperation, even though the job does not align with your values. So use money to gain control over your time. Very important. Number 7, be nicer and less flashy. We really cannot talk about this enough. No one is impressed with your possessions, as much as you are. You are the only one thinking, if you wear that flashy dress, everybody's going to be like, oh my God, this lady is gorgeous. She has arrived. And all of that. Most of the time, people don't even see you. They are seeing the dress. The dress attracts them, right? And they are wishing they could also buy it. They are not even paying attention to the person wearing the dress. Like, oh, you must be very rich, you will solve their problems and all of that. No. You might think you want a fancy car or a nice watch, Loriro. But what you probably want is respect and admiration. You want people to be like, yes, sir. Look at the car that he brought. You think that will bring you respect? No. What will actually bring you respect and admiration is genuine kindness and humility. It can endear people to you or endear you to people, whichever one, right? Instead of you going around wanting to impress everybody, you go and empty your bank account because you want to drive a Benz round town. No, it doesn't work that way. Even if people have 5 minutes impression about you, that is gone. They don't go back to their houses and be thinking about you. No, they'll rather be thinking about their own lives. Okay. Number 8, save. Just save. You don't need a specific reason to save. You don't need to be saving just because you want to buy that car, you want to start that business, or you want to build a house, or you want to go to school, right? Just save. Save for saving's sake. And when the chips are down, when life happens, you will have something to fall back on, right? Put money aside for emergency funds. It will even keep your mind at rest. How do you feel when you know that there are some few millions cooling off somewhere, for you? It brings you some kind of confidence. In Yoruba is my language, the language in Nigeria, one of the 3 major languages. They usually make this joke like, the way, when you just collect your paycheck, your salary, they'll be like, now you can go out and even hit an egg seller. And because if all the eggs break, you have money in your bank account or in your pockets to pay the person off that. How much are the crates? How many eggs broke take? You pay the person. That's the kind of confidence you have. Because you have money. In life, that is how you feel, right? You're not threatened per se. Number 9, define the cost of success and be ready to pay for it. Nothing is free. Everything has a price tag. For some things, you can see the price tag, right? Or the price tags. And if you have the money, you're willing to buy it, you pay for it. But for some other things like success, like prosperity, and all of this, the price is sweat, regret, endurance, hard work, sacrifices. And you must be willing to pay these prices. Otherwise, success is far. Not 2 ways about it. I wish I could sit here and tell you that, don't worry, there's shortcuts. We'll find a way around it. There is no way around it. The earlier you sit down and pay the price, the better. Because the reward is going to be so rewarding. Yes, to put it that way. The reward will be rewarding. You will enjoy it. Imagine that you are trying to cut corners. You don't settle down to pay the price. It's still going to wait for you in the future. There is no shortcut to success. Right? But the price is worth paying. It is worth it. I'm a living testimony. Right? So if you really want it, settle down once and for all and pay the price. It's not easy, but it is worth it. Number 10, worship room for error. Let there be a gap between what you really want and what will happen in the future. Always understand that you're a human being. You are not perfect. So don't be afraid to make some money decisions. Don't be afraid to take some steps. Leave room for error. What if it doesn't work out? Should I put all my eggs in one basket? What if this investment fails? Right? Always think like that. It will help you to be more cautious of what you're doing. Number 11, avoid the extreme ends of financial decisions. Don't be too extreme to say, no, I cannot save. I can never invest in that thing. I can never this. No, 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 no. Avoid the extremes. Everyone's goals and desires will change over time. So be flexible. The more extreme your past decisions are, the more you may regret them as you evolve. Sorry. So don't be too extreme. Never say never. That's what it means. Never say never. You can change. Your preferences can change. Your goals can change. Your belief system can change and everything. So don't say never. I can never do that. Yeah. Number 12. You should like risk because it pays off over time. But try to avoid risks that will ruin you. All right. Even though you want to take risks, don't take risks blindly. Don't just open your eyes and go and take a risk that will destroy everything you have been working for. Number 13, define the game you are playing and make sure your actions have not been influenced by people playing a different game. So be careful who you take financial advice from, right? Not everybody is playing the same game as you. You don't know their plans. You don't know, maybe they have somebody bankrolling them. And here you are wishing you were them. They are shopping lavishly. You too, you want to shop lavishly. You shoot yourself in the foot. So don't compare yourself. Don't envy anybody or anything like that. Number 14, and the last but not the least, respect the mess. The smart, be informed. Reasonable people can agree in finance. Sorry, smart, informed, and reasonable people can agree in finance. They can disagree, I beg your pardon. Because people have vastly different goals and desires. So there is no single right answer. Just do what works for you. But make sure that what you're doing is a wise thing to do per time, right? Don't compare yourself to me. You don't know my journey. You don't know how I'm making my money. You don't know my preferences. You don't know if I have a large family or I'm living alone and I have all the money to myself. Meanwhile, you are a family of 10. Responsibilities are there. But you also want to do shopping, you want to buy fancy dresses, you want to buy, flashy cars. And at the end of the day, you are not able to pay your children's school fees. Don't copy anybody. Do what works for you. We must not all be on the same page when it comes to our finances. Even though there are some general principles that can guide all of us, like saving, like investing. These are no-brainers, right? But at the end of the day, do what makes you sleep well at night, what works for you, as long as you know you're doing the right thing and you're making wise financial decisions. Thank you so much for joining me for today's review. Thank you for being a part of this. I hope that you learned one or two things. Yeah. Please don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me in the comment section below, and please subscribe to this channel in case you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. Tomorrow, we're going to look at confessions, the psychology of the author's money. The psychology of the author's money. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.